Dear love, we cannot live together, so let's die together. Yeah, we will do double suicide by jumping into this man-eating river. Okay, let's jump into it. This is how our lovely couple decided to commit suicide and find their love in the next world. They tied their hands together with a string and were about to jump but were stopped by a truck. A bright light appeared. Now the boy opened his eyes and found himself in a different place. He thought this was the place he came to after the suicide, but that was wrong. A beautiful young lady came close to him and told him he was saved. She welcomed him to Zauberberg, a new and different world. This girl's name was Annette. She welcomed all the adventurers to this world. She told him he was selected and transported to this world, and he was going to become a hero here. She started explaining his mission, but he ate poison because he did not want to live. She panicked but recovered him with her magic. He was saved. She told him to be confident and relax because he was the luckiest person chosen by the truck. The truck was the world selector that transported unhappy people and made them live happily in this world. The boy got angry and kept eating poison pills, saying he didn't want any of this. He said he was living the best moment of his life when the truck hit him. Annette worried about how depressed this person was and how unhappy he was in his world. He started smoking. She checked his abilities to see what qualities he had, but he was too weak and just wanted to end his life. He was completely hopeless. She couldn't believe it. He finished smoking and moved outside. She grabbed his hand and stopped him, saying it was their mistake for transferring him to this world. She told him not to go outside because it was dangerous. The world had many monsters, and unfortunately, he had no ability to handle them. She thought he was frightened, but he seemed happy because this was like his previous life, and he found a way to die. Annette felt bad for him, thinking she had never met anyone like him before. She had met many travelers, all full of hope, but he was so depressed. He simply left and wandered around the world eating poison pills. He heard voices, and his head hurt. He heard a girl screaming and saw a dead tree capturing a cute girl. The girl's name was Tama. She asked him for help, saying she needed to live. He stared at her and asked her to tell him her story so he could write about it. The girl couldn't understand him and begged for help again. He stood there, trying to capture her moment in his head from a distance, but it was impossible. The tree captured him too. The girl got angry because he did such a dumb thing, but he was happy because he was about to die. The tree used magic on them, but it failed because the tree absorbed all the poison from the boy's body. The boy was unhappy again because this was his fifth failed attempt at dying. He started smoking again. The girl told him he was depressed but still thanked him for saving her and invited him to go with her. She extended her hand to help him up, and at that moment, the boy saw the string tied to his hand. It reminded him of the string he tied with his lover in his previous life. Her name was Sakchan. He smiled, deciding he wanted to find a reason to live. He decided to find his girlfriend so they could do double suicide. He was still unhappy and just wanted to die, even if he found his girlfriend. The cute girl tried to talk to him, but he ignored her, thinking only of Sakchan. On the other hand, Annette prayed for the boy, hoping they'd meet again one day. At the same time, the door opened, and the boy appeared. She gazed at him but grew jealous when she saw another girl with him. He ignored her and asked about his girlfriend. His question angered Annette, and she said she didn't know anything. They decided to go to the town of Roth to find Sakchan. He said he was tired and wanted a comfortable place to sleep. His idea of comfort was a coffin. He slept in it while they moved to the town. Finally, they arrived, and he came out. They went to the castle and met King Roth Thomas and his daughter, Princess Charlotte. The king welcomed them, noticing they were tired, and suggested they rest in the bedchambers for the night. He asked about their experiences, but our boy, with his peculiar demeanor, asked if he wanted to know how it felt to sleep in a coffin. The king, offended by the remark, frowned, but the girls quickly diffused the situation, apologizing on his behalf and explaining that he had come from another world and didn't know much about their customs. The king understood and introduced them to two individuals, Gomez, a warrior, and Otto, a romantic. He explained that he wanted his daughter to choose one of them as her husband since he was getting old and needed someone to handle the kingdom's affairs. However, our boy refused to make a choice, stating it should be Princess Charlotte's decision, not anyone else's. Later that night, he gazed at the moon, and Annette, noticing him, asked about his girlfriend. Before he could answer, she saw Tama sleeping on his thigh, leading her to push Tama away, sparking a fight between them. Stepping out, he met Princess Charlotte by a beautiful lake, where he mentioned wanting to drown in it. When she asked why he wanted to die, he deflected and asked what was troubling her. She sighed, explaining her dilemma. Gomez was strong and dependable but overly reliant on the army, while Otto, her childhood friend, wrote songs for her but seemed to care more about his music than her feelings. She wanted to fulfill her father's wish but didn't know how. He shared that his life was full of troubles too, yet he never allowed anyone to dictate how he lived, advising her to think about her own desires. The next day, the king gathered everyone to hear Princess Charlotte's decision. To everyone's shock, she chose our boy, declaring him the one with whom she would even commit double suicide. Everyone was stunned as she explained that Otto only sang for her to test his songs, while Gomez was creepy and smelled bad. The king tried to intervene, but she insisted that our boy understood her better than anyone else. Suddenly, Gomez revealed his true identity as a servant of the wrathful Dark Lord, who sought to marry the princess and hand the kingdom to his master. He transformed into his monstrous form and attacked. Soldiers failed to stop him, but Tama stepped up to protect Annette. Otto sang to encourage her, but she dismissed it as just another song. Tama fought bravely, but our boy stepped forward, offering himself and Princess Charlotte for Gomez to kill, claiming they were ready for double suicide. Gomez prepared to attack but declared he would kill them, the king, and everyone in the kingdom. However, our boy smiled and pushed Charlotte aside, calling her a kind princess and urging her to save her people. As Gomez charged, Annette and Tama combined their powers to create an explosion that blasted Gomez out of the castle. They succeeded in saving the kingdom. The king apologized to Charlotte for pressuring her, admitting his mistake, and she forgave him, deciding to take responsibility for the kingdom herself. She embraced her father, and as the group prepared to leave, the girls expressed concern about Charlotte's ability to handle everything at her age, but our boy reassured them that she had chosen this path for herself and would be fine. They are tired, so they stop at a place, and Tenna told them they had to visit the 4 temples because all the outsiders always come to these temples, but these temples are at a very long distance from each other and spread throughout the whole world. Tama found it hard to find Sakchan all around the world, but Antenna is fully confident, and she wants to help our boy. Tama mentions this is all because she loves him. She agrees with it and also doesn't want our boy to fight with the Dark Lord because it will be dangerous for him. Our boy interferes and asks Annette what happened to her job. She replied she sent an application for some vacation by her familiar. Her familiar name is Melos, and he comes there but does not perform his task. Melos likes our boy, but he ignores us. They are talking when suddenly a red dragon attacks them. This dragon is the most powerful creature in the world. This dragon is going to kill them, but it is controlled by a mysterious girl. This mysterious girl goes and talks with the dragon and everything is fine. Our boy also came out of his coffin and they introduced him, but when the mysterious girl hears the outsider world, she gets angry and attacks them. She used all her power and caused huge destruction. They get hurt and even found it difficult to stand after this attack, but still, the girls courage themselves and are going to protect our boy. The mysterious girl uses her magic and the mark of a wrathful Dark Lord appears on her. This mysterious girl stopped our girls from even standing. Our boy went forward and told her to stop all this because he was her enemy, not these girls, so attack him because he is always ready to die. The mysterious girl attacks him, he fell, and blood came out. The mysterious girl mentions her name as Waldelia, and she will always kill the outsider. She moves out, but he stops her. He told her she stabbed him because she had a powerful hatred, but still, there is pain and sadness in her eyes. He touches her cheeks and asks why. She ignores and moves out. The rain starts, and they are on the floor. Melos changes his form and takes all of them to the temple. Antenna told save this boy. Now after some days our boy is buying some poison from a shopkeeper and drinking it. This is because he recovered. Antenna thanks Isha, the worker of the temple. Isha is upset with her because she is moving in with an outsider and also she lost her job. He is angry with her. He advises her to stop all this and go back to their job because this is very difficult to find an outsider in this large world. They are talking when suddenly creepy boy Catro comes here. He shows his skill of producing the currency of this world's numberless. Isha put coins on his face and made him run away. He told Antenna that all the outsiders are the same. They are so dumps, so this is better to leave them on their own. But she mentions this boy is different, and he gives hope to her as she is fed up with her work. Our boy came and asked for money. She simply gives it to him without any worry. Isha told her to stop all this because he spent her money just on taking drugs and poison, nothing else. He asks her what power he has. She told him he did not have any power. But he was a kind person even though he was giving his life to save them in front of the Dark Lord. Isha stopped her and mentioned the Dark Lord is already killed by another outsider 7 days ago. So how it can be possible? They are worried about this as cannot understand it. Antenna discusses all this with Tama. They both are happy that finally peace has come to their place. But they cannot understand who was Waldelia then. There is also the fact that our boy came 7 days ago in this world. They were talking and suddenly our boy screamed and tore the pieces of paper and lay down on the floor. They asked him what happened. He replied he wanted to write all of the things that happened to him nowadays, but he is finding it difficult to write even a word. Antenna asked if he had written about their meeting, but he replied he had not even written her name. That breaks her heart. but she controls herself and tells him to go out for some enjoyment. He agrees. Now she is going to buy silver armor for him to protect himself from any danger. Isha comes there and talks to him. He tells him that Annette is a very pure girl and trusts everyone, but her friendship with him causes trouble for her, so this is better that he should leave her. He smiled and replied, this is the decision, that is whether she wants to go with him or not. He mentioned she is the woman who has a right to do what she wants, and he is not a bird in a cage, so stop all of this. Now at the same time, another outsider came there. Katro told everyone that this outsider was Lord Suzuki. Lord Suzuki told everyone that the Dark Lord was killed by outsiders. Now peace has come to their world, but this is done by the outsider peoples, so now they have to give respect to them. Now they have to follow them. They are going to be ruled by outsiders, and it is called the Great Hero Age. He told everyone to kneel down. Tama just said what is going on, but Katro mentions that this girl is doing violence against the outsiders. Lord Suzuki came to her and told her to not do this and to be a good girl. Now comment what will happen next. Do you like this story? Please subscribe to our channel for more content.